They've been growing grapes here for more than 400 years, ever since the Spanish first colonized. But in the minds of many people, Chilean wine is the thing you find on the bottom shelf in a supermarket when you don't want to splash out on a Barossa Shiraz or maybe a California Pinot Noir. But things are changing, and modern Chilean wine has more style, more elegance, grace, and often a bigger price tag. Achieving this change hasn't been easy for Chile. It's a country that's lived through extensive periods of war and revolution, dictatorship and colonization. What better place to understand these changes and the effects they've had than by meeting sommelier Ricardo Grelle at a pisco bar in the country's capital of Santiago.
Pedro, ¿puede hacer un pisco sour y un pichuncho, por favor? These two cocktails made in pisco.
This one I recognise first. This is a pisco sour.
This is pisco sour. Probably in every corner of Chile, somebody will offer you a pisco sour as a refreshing drink.
It's a citrusy drink, and it smells like lemons and limes.
Absolutely. It's a sour. It's 3 parts of pisco, 1 part of lemon juice, and some sugar on top.
That is very refreshing.
It is.
Pisco seems to be interrelated with Chile's wine history because you started planting grapes 500 years ago, something like that. But then that wine production was suppressed by the Spanish, is that right?
It's suppressed by many things. Jump in the history at the beginning of 70s, because the Pinochet and the military regime. You have unsafe country in politics and economic. Nobody want to invest in that country. Nobody changed the face of the wine at that time. Was just focusing bulk production, a lot of kilos per hectare, and just massive quantities of wine for export. And Chile was a kind of low-quality product.
The early 1970s saw Chile become a country in which industry was heavily nationalized. For winemaking, this meant quality was sacrificed for quantity. However, eventually, the state lost control of Chile's wineries. This encouraged more entrepreneurial producers to really raise the bar. Chile rediscovered its passion for winemaking. It also started a debate about what should be Chile's signature grape.
Some of them, they are really pushing mission grape, and mission grape is the flag. The other one is really pushing, no, Carmener is the grape. It's just Chilean. And the other one is still, Cabernet Sauvignon is the real grape that we have.
Do you think that that culture's got overseas, that people recognize that Chile has all these other interesting grapes that are growing and different methods?
Like a baby step, but we're moving in that way. But also, we are communicating to all over the world that the Chilean wine is moving and is improving its quality and is showing something absolutely surprising.
As such, Ricardo has a new bottle from one of my favorite vineyards for me to try.
A special bottle for you is Santa Rita Casa Real Reserva Especial 2011, one of the most famous Cabernet Sauvignon from Maipo.
I know this wine very well, but I've never tried this vintage.
Let's try it.
Currently, the first vintage of Casa Real is on sale in one London restaurant for a whopping £850 a bottle. For me, this is Chile's icon wine. Wow. It's still very young, but this is a great wine, isn't it? And I remember this style. It's that very concentrated black currant, but also red currant fruit, which is quite Chilean, isn't it?
It's Cabernet Sauvignon from Maipo, from Andes. Now you have this concentration in that kind of Cabernet, especially in Santa Rita, where really, really concentrated.
There are other herbs and spices and things, but it's really all about that big fruit, isn't it? The red currant, black currant fruit.
So you like it?
I do like it a lot. I think this is decided my first stop in Chile. Santa Rita is a short drive south of Chile's capital, Santiago. It's one of Chile's oldest and most respected wineries. Winemaker Cecilia Torres was part of the post-Pinochet revolution that turned Chile's wine on its head. 1989, when you first made this, what was the big change in winemaking for you?
In terms of the vinification, is the oak use. In the past, we use a very big vat, and for the oak, it's not a French oak. It's a Chilean oak. It's Raouli. It's not good, no elegant. And now we use, of course, very small barrels and French oak.
French oak barrels are considered among the best in the world for aging wine, but they do come at a price. But for Casa Real, it was an investment worth making. But I'm keen to try another wine that's made here, one that I think represents the future of winemaking. It's called Santa Rita 120. Its name refers to the 120 men who found shelter here during Chile's fight for independence in 1814. Winemaker Carlos Gatica has a glass of his Merlot waiting for me and a story to tell.
During Chilean struggle for independence, there was a battle in Rancagua, 50 kilometers south, and after we were seriously defeated, all the surviving soldiers came here. They were hidden by Doña Paula, which is a Chilean patriot. They stayed here for a while. They went to Argentina. They rebuilt the army, Chilean army, and 3-4 years later, they gained our independence. So it's a very meaningful place, and it's
a great
Santa
place
Rita's place.
It's a great place to store some wine
Yeah,
as well,
definitely.
isn't it? How exciting a time is it now to be a winemaker in Chile for you?
At the moment, it's very exciting. I think we're now learning a little bit. We're getting to a point in which we're understanding the relationship between vine, the soil, the climate, humans, you know. So we're getting into a point that we can make very exciting wines where we can do different things.
You talk with a great deal of confidence about winemaking. How much do you owe that to the work that winemakers like Cecilia did in making grand wines like Casa Real that showed really well against Bordeaux and Burgundy?
Right. Our confidence comes from our strength, that we have great soils, and also we have the human experience. People is making mistakes in the good way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are putting things that are completely weird, maybe.
Yeah.
They are bottling it, and then when you taste them, at the beginning you're like surprised, but then you understand there is the feeling of you are drinking something which is unique. And that I think is good for the industry.
Cheers.
Cheers, Joe.
Yes.
The next time you open a bottle of wine, you might want to take a minute to think about the history that might have gone into making it. The humble Chilean grape has had to overcome great conflict throughout centuries of war, recession and revolution, all taking their toll. Yet never once have Chile's winemakers admitted defeat. And that is a huge part of what makes this country and its wines so very special. This historical turmoil has in fact shaped their wines and the winemakers into something greater, and as a result, Chile is becoming a captivating main stage contender for the top wines in the world, hopefully for generations to come.